It's 5 o'clock and time for Wiregrass Strong. The new coronavirus epidemic is a big problem that's expected to become bigger in the weeks and months to come. For those who are infected as well as those trying to avoid infection, these are trying times. But amid all the doom and gloom, there are some positive stories, positive messages, and reasons to remain hopeful. So every afternoon at this time, your Wiregrass Radio family of stations will come together while staying apart to help you stay informed. We're going to be seeking your input. If you're a business impacted by the virus, call and let the Wiregrass know what you are doing to continue safely providing your services or goods. And if you're a parent working hard to take care of your family, we'd love to hear how you are coping. Remember, only the facts, no hearsay or rumors, and we're trying to keep things positive. Our number is 334-699-1053, or you can join us on YouTube Live, and you can chat throughout the program. Good afternoon. It is a Tuesday. It is the 14th day of April, and this is Wiregrass Strong, and we are staying strong. Wiregrass this half hour brought to you as a public service of Knights Wrecker Service, big or small. They do it all. 899-3257, Ashford, Dothan, and Headland locations to get to you really fast. And now would not be a good time to be breaking down. 899-3257, Knights Wrecker. We are broadcasting on all four of our FM radio stations, WESP, WECB, WJRL Dothan, WBBK Blakely Dothan. And we are streaming live on Facebook at B1053 on Facebook and on YouTube, our Wiregrass radio channel on YouTube. Just go over there and we are streaming live. You can also comment. I'm opening the comments up now. You can comment on Facebook and you can comment on YouTube during the live stream. With us today on the panel, Marcus Cage from Magic 93.1. Dave Washer Day.
Good afternoon.
From Pollard and Dave in the morning on B1053. Mr. Mark Culver, the chairman of the Houston County Commission and the mayor of our fine metropolis of Dothan, Alabama, Mayor Mark Saliba. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and thank you for being here on Wiregrass Strong for a Tuesday.
Thanks for having us, man.
Glad to be here.
Good to be here.
Glad to be
All
here.
right. I think Dave has already kind of broken the ice on our conversation this afternoon. Dave, if you want to open it up about Governor Ivey's press conference.
Well, I was asking the mayor and the and Mark Culver there. I was asking them about if they had heard what the mayor had said and what her latest proclamation was, if there was any change whatsoever. And I just wanted to get the guys' take on what the latest is from the Capitol.
All right. Mr. Chairman, you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Of course, I always like to clean up after you. So.
There we go. Thank you. I do think it was timely. There were some governors that made some announcements that were in the other parts of the nation. I think 6 governors came together in the northeast part of the country, and then some on the west coast as well, talking about what they were going to do about rolling out the economy and speaking to that over the next day or two, which I take as positive. We're looking for any kind of positive news, and I think that was my take a little bit on that she felt like that she probably needed to address that as well. As well as say that we need to stay the course on all of our medical protocols, strong as we can for at least through the end of this month, that it did look like it was flattening the curve, so to speak, with the numbers.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think she was also asked a question about did that mean she was going to loosen something up, and I think she said no. So I don't really think anybody knows when we're going to change the course on this, but things are looking good. We've just got to be sure everybody keeps doing what they've been doing,
That is absolutely right. We
Yeah,
are not going
I agree. And
We got a lot of marks on this show. Did y'all know that?
We got a Marcus, a Mark, and a Mark, and a Dave. Wash your dang hands, Gilligan.
That's right. That's right.
Marcus, do you have anything this afternoon for the mayor and the chairman?
I'm just actually happy to be in the presence of the both of them. Is there anything new within the city or the county that the public should know about?
I'll let you go first this time.
Well, I mean, you know, I guess last Friday we put out a advisory that included notice from Department of Health and CDC that encouraged all of our citizens to, when out in public, to wear a face covering, a mask of some sort, whether it's a bandana or whatever. Both of those have strongly encouraged that activity, and so as the mayor and I have done throughout this whole thing, we have encouraged our citizens to follow CDC and state health department guidelines. That being one, then both of us are encouraging our citizens to do that. I've been out, some to the grocery store and to work and whatnot, and there's a good bit of that. I think I went to one local popular grocery store, and I'm gonna say probably half the people in there had on masks on. I guess it was Saturday, and it's just another thing to help us continue the positive strides we're making. You know, if we get complacent and we just say, well, everything's working and we're doing what we need to do, everything's going back to normal, then we're going to start backsliding, and we'll extend that time when the new normal does come, whenever that is.
I agree with the chairman. I think it's just another one of those good standard guidelines that we all need to try to do as much as we can. And it's mostly when you're out in a public setting where you may not feel that you can, get the social distancing that you need, passing somebody a little too close. So if you get out and you have to go to the grocery store, or you have to go to the pharmacy or go somewhere inside, to have one that you put on. The CDC.gov's got a good website on, even how to make one or how to put it on and take it off each time, because that's important as well. Once you go inside a public place, you got to be careful about touching the front of your face mask or bandana in order, if you don't want to pick up maybe something that you may have gotten there. So I think we're already in it. Let's continue on strong, and because whatever we do now is going to pay off, and you got to know it's helping the people, the healthcare workers that are on the front lines. They're the ones that are having to go to work every day, and doctors' offices and the hospitals and the emergency responders, and so whatever we do as citizens, it's going to help them in their fight.
Absolutely.
Just a follow-up question also. Is there any? I think I should be saying. Can you reiterate the importance of everything that we're supposed to be doing, especially since tomorrow a lot of the stimulus checks will be dropping and being released to the public? Can you basically follow up and let everybody know what needs to be done? This is not being a time to just go, buck wild and just hit the streets.
Absolutely. We get a lot of calls on, the letter of the law, so to speak, on the order that's out there of what you should and shouldn't do. And I think it really, more than anything, is the intent, and the intent of it is to, do as little as you can out in the public and around other people. Try to stay home as much as possible. The social distancing, the washing your hands, now the bandana or face mask that you have on, all of those things will help us in the long run. I think that Alabama is doing much better than most people thought we were going to do, but I think we had a head start seeing what a lot of other people were doing out there. But yeah, once they get the checks, it doesn't mean that everybody needs to run to the grocery store or Walmart. I would, you know, limit it to one person if you got to go buy groceries and make a trip somewhere instead of taking the whole family.
One word of encouragement: the checks are coming. As a matter of fact, my oldest son received his today in the mail, and then he handed me my bill from the IRS. So there you go.
Well, I might should walk out to the mailbox while we're talking and see.
That's right. That's right.
See
Because
if yours got here.
some of them did drop today, and I think my wife visited our credit union website, and they had a bulletin on there about the fact that beginning midnight on Tuesday or first thing Wednesday morning, they would start receiving direct deposits on those stimulus checks. So that is happening. If you're listening on YouTube or Facebook Live and you'd like to ask a question, please do so in the comments. Thank you, Kathy and Priscilla, for being here with us. And if you have a question for the mayor or the chairman, please give us a call, 699 1053, 699 1053. And again, our guest today is Mayor Mark Saliba, the mayor of Dothan, and the chairman of the Houston County Commission, Mr. Mark Culver. We thank you all again for being here with us. Always informative when you guys join us, and we certainly do appreciate it. And we'll keep the program going as long as it's needed. Just like the stay-at-home program, even though the governor may relax some of the regulations, we have to understand that unless we remain diligent and vigilant, we are not going to overcome this thing. We may find ourselves in a mess in another month or so if we just get out there, as Marcus said, go hog wild. And I don't think, I got a funny feeling that our new reality is a new reality. The way we handle things, the way we do business, the way we communicate and interact with folks is changed forever from this point forward.
That leads me to my next question for both of the Marks on the panel today. I know you guys have been talking with local businessmen and local businesses and how to move forward both during and after what is going on with COVID-19. How are the local businesses reacting to what you guys are bringing forward? And is everybody seems to be, focused? Is that what you're getting from the business community, guys?
Mr. Chairman, you want to go?
Well, I mean, I think so. I think, well, a couple of things. One, certainly many of our local businesses are suffering significantly, and we know that. But our community is I hope y'all know, and I'm sure you do, we live in a special place, and people are really reaching out and supporting. I know our former mayor today bought, was in helping teachers out and helping a small business downtown out, and they were packed. And I've seen others supporting other restaurants and small businesses, and that's just the way our community is. I think most of the small businesses have been so tied up in the trying to get through the maze of websites and everything else that has been the effort to get the funding through the SBA and through the banks of the stimulus program, that they've been that's been quite the effort to do that, but that'll certainly help once it starts coming in, and I hope everybody figured out which pot, if you will, they needed to be involved in and got all that handled. The chamber and others, I know the mayor and other entities have been putting out, where you needed to go and where that help needed to be, and we hope everybody's gotten what they needed out of that to get them by. But yeah, I think our businesses have been responsive, and we've had. I know Mark and I both, Mark and Mark have had calls about businesses and can I do this and can I do that, and we've tried to be very succinct in what we tell people, because the order is the order. And I know there've been, some publicized, but I think in general people have been good.
It's been obviously the economic impact is a challenge that I think is going to be with us through the rest of the year, because there are some smaller businesses that are going to take it on the chin a lot harder than some of the others, and there's some that can just shut down and then open back up. Unemployment, of course, is the thing. I was listening to the governor today. We were talking about earlier that I think the number statewide has doubled, easily doubled over the last few weeks, and whereas we were having record unemployment rates, now it's skyrocketed. So, but the chairman and I and the Chamber of Commerce have been meeting regularly and trying to get the word out on, as chairman was talking about, the different buckets, SBA buckets. Our banks have been working long hours since that program came out to field calls and meet with people on how to get those those monies in to help support their businesses as well. And so I think long after we have dealt with the medical impact, we're going to still be dealing with how to help one another get back in business. I think it'll take off pretty fast once we do, because we were strong before. The economy was strong locally, statewide, and nationally. And so I do think it'll jump back, but there's going to be probably some businesses going.
Uh-oh.
Yep. He'll be back in a minute, but he sounded very positive, Chairman, about the business's overall outlook, and I guess that's what I was going for, because quite frankly, we're kind of a consumer economy anymore. Even though we live in a farming community, people like to go and buy stuff and spend their money, and people like to provide those things that people want to buy, and it's just comforting to know that you guys got your fingers on the pulse of the businesses, helping them get through what they need to in order to, as you say, on the other side, once we've gone through the medical emergency, we can recover our economy just as quickly as possible.
Well, that's right. We absolutely live in a retail community, medical and retail, and drive our community and frankly, bring people here. So we are cognizant of that. I noticed we were talking about what the governor said, and she said things were going good, but she did tweet later. She said, "I can't overemphasize how imperative it is to keep doing what we're doing. Now is not the time to let our guard down. We must all continue to do our part to stop the spread." So, she wants to be sure people didn't misunderstand what she was saying, that we could relax and go on about our business. So, we've just got to keep helping each other and get through this, and hopefully sooner than later.
Sure.
I have noticed that I am enjoying, I hate to say it this way, but some of the new ways of doing business, which is going to be hard to go back to the old way. I don't know if these businesses will be able to sustain or maintain the type of service, but a lot of the curbside where I go online or I go on the phone and tell them what I want and ease by and grab it and go. And for the very first time, I called Walmart and ordered what I needed, and then drove through the parking lot and had them put it in the car and kept right on going.
Wow, and it's like the 1960s, huh?
They may have ruined themselves, but doing business may have changed for a little bit here in the coming future. So
pretty soon somebody's going to start pumping our gas.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, at the price of gas right now, you're not going to get anybody to pump it. It was nice down on Foster Street when they were all open to just pull over there. I'm hoping maybe the city will let them keep doing that. We won't bring that up, but
no, it's just it has been convenient, and God bless those folks out there who are, number one, helping their employees out by keeping their business solvent right now and doing everything they can
Well, as
And
city planners, guys, with deliveries of all sorts, not just food deliveries, that's going to become part of the new normal. I see that in the future. Are you guys considering that when you look towards the future and how our roads and how traffic's going to be affected by deliveries and curbside pickups and drive-through services? That's a whole new effect on the infrastructure, I would think.
It may be, especially for like downtown and other areas. Yeah.
I can't hear.
You can't hear anybody? The mayor can't hear, he says.
keep right on chug-a-lugging here.
That means we can say anything we want, right?
That's right. Oh my goodness.
I would say, Mayor, if you need to drop off and log back on, do so, but he said he can't hear, so.
There we go.
There
You
it
just
is.
came back. I got a phone call.
That's
Call,
the one bad thing using your phone. If you get a text message that notifies you or a phone call, bling, it kind of messes things up.
Yeah.
But
Sorry
this,
about that.
that's right.
That's okay. We volunteered the city for a lot of good things while you were on.
That's right.
Marcus, how you doing down there, Marcus?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fabulous. I actually had a question and it slipped my mind. Old age has hit me.
While you're thinking of that question, I did want to say that another of my sons got his check. He just notified me. So they are flying into the mail.
I see that.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, and I don't know if I missed any. On a positive note, I was talking with David Duke earlier at Wiregrass 211, and he and I were talking about the positive factor that all of our groups that are nonprofits and groups that are out there working to help others are working great together. And it's just always, it's never surprising, but it's always amazing how everybody gets, selfless instead of selfish and comes together and starts, for the greater good, helping everybody out. And he was just talking about how great that was and how much he was appreciating that.
Well, I think that harkens back to what Mark Culver said about we know we live in a special place. And it's, I grew up thinking that the Lord lived just down the road. So I knew this was a special place. It is. And it is the people that makes it special. And we are so proud that we live in this part of the country where folks have got each other's backs and maintain that 15. Now 15. Do 15, people. 15
feet is the thing. I'll tell you one of the positive things I've seen in my neighborhood, and I don't know if this is citywide or not, but a lot of families are putting old board games that they don't play anymore just out on there and say, take them. We know you're bored at the house. If there's a game you want to play, we got extra. Those little funny. It's kind of fun to see.
Dave, you were opining earlier about how your neck of the woods, your neighborhood, was doing Easter egg hunts for the kids.
Yeah. We just put a lot of the folks in the neighborhood put Easter eggs in the yard, and instead of hunting them up, you just drove by or walked by the houses, and you'd say, "There's some." At the end of the day, you could just compare with your friends who got the most, or if that's the game you were playing.
Or put them in the window, pictures of Easter.
Yeah, people are getting really creative about, like you say, guys, about supporting each other and holding each other up, not even just in the financial way. Look, there's the mental toll that's being taken during this thing. This is a whole new way of doing business. Look at us having this little conversation like we never would have imagined just 6 months ago.
That's right.
As bad as all
I actually remember now.
Go ahead.
Got a question for actually both of the Marks. Now that we are so deep into this with social distancing and everything, do you find that businesses in Houston County or businesses in Dothan are more following the rules and the regulations that have been put on them?
I'll go first. I'll say yes. The first 200 or 300 calls that we had coming in, checking on businesses, there were some that were just legitimately did not understand the order, and understandably so. it can be confusing and frustrating trying to figure out, and then a week later the order changed a little bit, and we had to, reinterpret or at least call the Department of Public Health and the Attorney General's office and all. But most of the calls that we get now are businesses that we've already checked on, and they're compliant. I think that some of the bigger places are harder to manage, and so there are times when they may seem to may not be in the order, but I think they're trying. When we shut down so many other places, it kind of we're larger than just 68 or 70,000. We've got about 125,000 or more people that are now trying to shop out of a fewer places. So, but I do think that it's working.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I think it goes back to our, the quality of the people that we've got too. They do what we ask them to and always have. And, we've had a few exceptions and people trying to get past the economic. I don't think anybody is out there just being belligerent with it, but the economic impact is hurting people, and there have been a few that are trying to get past that and around that, and that have you've seen examples of. But in general, I think the business folks have been doing what they're asked to do, and I think we've had to keep pushing the message, and we still keep pushing the message to stay at home and social distance. Yeah, there's a lot of words that have come up through this. I hope I never hear again after this. And social distance is one of them. And I don't know. There's a few others too that I hope we never hear
Shelter
again.
in place.
Yeah, that's one.
Yes, that one. And there was one this morning. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. But
Honey, I'm gonna let you is what I'm getting tired of.
What is?
Honey, I'm gonna let you. That's a phrase I'm hearing a lot lately.
Gentlemen, I wanted to say that yesterday we had the police chief on with us, Steve Parrish, and it was a great interview. And he reminded us, and I want to pass it along once again, 911 for emergencies only. And if you do need to contact police dispatch, 793-0215, 793-0215. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, if you just have an issue and you need to bring it before the police department that is non-emergency, please use 793-0215 and free up 911 for those calls which are most urgent and those which are emergencies. So keep that in mind. Something else I want to add is earlier, Mark, I'm just going to say Mark mentioned Mark mentioned David Duke over at 211, a great resource, 211, Wiregrass 211 on Facebook and on the web. So do go there. Another place that I have been sharing lately is the Dothan Chamber of Commerce, and you can get to that website simply by going to Dothan.com, Dothan.com. Go right down here and click on updated information and resources for COVID-19. And you have got a whole plethora, a virtual cornucopia. Yes, I use that word, cornucopia. Yeah.
250-cent words.
Can you spell that?
No, I cannot. It starts with a K, though. I know that. So. Small business assistance. If you have questions, there's all kinds of stuff here. Unemployment assistance, health updates, local information, city, county, and schools, press releases. Small business assistance. One of the biggest questions we get here at the station, and folks are asking all over, is information about small business. This is probably one of the best collectives of information, links, and phone numbers you will find concerning the small business loans available, the assistance, and that is at Dothan.com, and just click on that COVID-19 insurance. The information tab there for COVID-19 on the Dothan.com, the City of Dothan Chamber of Commerce. So use that, and you'll find a lot of useful information as well as Wiregrass 211. And there are other great sites as well.
I'm telling you, the
Just-
Dothan-Houston County Library System has a fantastic website. So there's no reason to be bored at home with a great library system like we have here in Houston County.
That's true.
It is. Man.
All right, let's go around the room here and wrap this thing up. It's 5:29. Marcus, any last comments before we depart?
Well, let me give a shout out to Christy Wood, who's following us on Facebook, and she did have a quick question for the mayor.
Okay,
is how has the social distancing quarantine affected the city's budgeting for Dothan?
Well, we're going to probably get a.
I don't think he wanted to answer.
Still there?
Phone call.
There he is. All right, Mayor, go ahead.
Hello.
There he is.
You there?
Yep.
Okay. I got another call. We're going to be looking at it real tight. We feel like in the end we're going to be short about 20 to 30% in sales tax revenues. Lodging, of course, revenues are going to be down. We're just going to have to wait until this next month. We put on hold, certain projects that were already underway. Of course, we're able to finish those out, but we're going to have to take a look at it and see at the end of this month.
Can y'all? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, can y'all put that picture of him back up there?
I can't hear Chairman Culver's comments. I'm sure they're good.
Mr. Culver, you can go back and watch the replay of this and freeze frame that. Do a screen capture and print it out and put it in a frame for yourself. Mr. Mayor, you just froze there at the point that just tickled Mark Culver. So, anyway, any last words, Chairman?
Chairman?
That would be you.
I can hear you, Mark. I can't hear them.
All right. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Want to thank Mr. Mark Saliba, the mayor of Dothan, for being with us today, and Mark Culver, the chairman of the Houston County Commission, as well as Dave, watch your dang hands, Gilligan, from the B1053 Morning Show. Pollard and Dave, catch them tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. right here on B1053. And Mr. Marcus Cage, he'll be on the air tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on WBBK. That is the People's Station, Magic 93.1. So be sure and catch him as well. And catch us tomorrow at 5 o'clock right here on Wiregrass Strong. And do stay safe, Wiregrass. Stay strong. Half hour of public service brought to you by Knight's Wrecker Service. Big or small, they do it all. 899-3257. Gentlemen, thank y'all for being with us. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And we will see you back here as far as viewers tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Give Knight's Wrecker a call. Tell them you appreciate them bringing you this half hour of public service information. 899-3257. And until tomorrow, we're going to return you now to your local programming. Too many marks. What's that? Too many marks. That was a good show.
I just found out that the songs that I put in yesterday did not come over.
Would you do me a favor and reboot your audio vault? First thing?
That was the first thing I did.
Oh, you already rebooted it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not coming over.
No.
All right. Would you do me a favor and just go ahead and disconnect all the wires from it and take it to an open window?
And just drop it?
Yeah. And we can just say it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there doing something and I turned and bumped it. I bumped it and it fell right out the window. All the way across the damn hall, through an open door and out the window.
And I just bumped it like this.
You just
Bumped it like that.
bumped it like this. I'll look into it.
Yeah, we tried. Just to let you know, we tried the disk drive with the check.